You are such an asshole!
Hey everybody, the old captain here. It's Asshole Consulting. Go to assholeconsulting.com, where I, the world's only for professional asshole, the Dark Knight of advice columns, and then the IKEA of consultants. Aaron Clary will answer your questions, and you say, why the hell should I hire you? Who the fuck you? I'm like fucking Dear Abby, except I charge you. I give a hell of a lot better advice, especially for today's times. Oh my gosh, Sarah, I don't know. Maybe your husband was sucking another man's cock. Maybe you should go to therapy. Anyway, hey asshole. My name is Sean. I currently go to UC Place. Where do you go to California? Where I'm majoring in economics and accounting. I'll be eligible for CPA licensure with only a bachelor's degree, as I earned a ton of units while in high school that was applicable to the CPA requirements. I paid you for a video request in the past, which you let your friend Chad Elkins reply to my question of what he thought of the audit versus tax, which is, for me, dilemma. His video, among other things, basically convinced me to go into tax, but I have a few follow-up questions, which I'm fine with either you or him answering. So I'm going to answer it because I have a feeling we're going to agree, but then I'm going to ask Chad if he'd kindly put his 2 cents down below, assuming he has time because he's in the middle of busy season, getting drunk with his buddies at Notre Dame. Even though it would be more time-consuming and costly to pursue a master's in taxation, especially when I don't really need it to get my CPA, would it be worth my time doing so? I don't like the idea of another year or two of school, but if firms look upon people with both masters in tax and CPAs more favorably than those with just CPAs, then I definitely consider applying to master's programs. I've heard from quite a few people that a master's in tax would be advantageous, but from roughly the same number of people I've heard the opposite. And here's some information about myself that might help in forming a response to my question. I'm 20. I'll graduate from California with a bachelor's sometime next year. I have no debt upon graduation. I have $80,000 in savings. I plan to live and work around Irvine, California after I'm done with school, and that's where my family friends all reside. Plus, my mother is not in the best health, and I'd like to be around to make sure she's doing okay. I like to work for myself someday, whether that be owning a solo tax practice, buying an existing tax practice, or some other entrepreneurial endeavor, unrelated tax or accounting. But I also don't mind being a wage slave for X amount of years for the purpose of getting my feet off the ground. I practice minimalism and for the most part not materialistic, but the cost of living in Southern California is high. My ultimate goal in life is to have a bunch of fuck you money, above all else freedom. Oh fucking God! There's so many things. Also, a link to the audit. I like a video response if possible. That's all. Thank you for your time. All right. Well, thank you very much. All right. Look, here's the deal. To answer your question, let's do that. We'll answer your question. I do not believe you need to go get your tax or master's in tax if you get your CPA. The whole fucking point of getting your CPA is so you don't have to get your fucking master's degree. Now, the way progressive credentialism is going, you're going to have to go get a master's degree anyway in increasing amounts of states. But for now, that is probably one of the biggest selling points of the CPA, is that it's just as employable as a master's. Now, what I would do is kind of akin to your plan. You get your CPA, you go work in one of the big four, or not even one of the big four, because your goal is minimalism. Your goal is not to suck your lifeblood dry out of yourself, but go work for maybe a regional or a second-tier auditing tax firm to learn. Your goal is to learn, is basically what it is. Learn what you can, get some skills, learn to do accounting. It's not all on the books. It's not a theory in CPA. Learn and get experience so that you have, several years, 4 or 5 years under your belt. Then I would reassess. You can even reassess after a year working with your CPA whether or not it's going to be worth it for you. Because I hate to make a general blanketing statement. Well, yeah, if you had a master's degree, sure, that would be a positive, but is it worth 2 years in my opinion? No. But it's not like you can't go back and get it at some time. So I would see whether or not, in your particular case, in your particular employment situation, it warrants going back and getting yourself a master's in tax. Because what could happen is, yeah, I know you're a minimalist now and all that. All of a sudden you find out you love tax. You're like the type of dude who should like go and become partner at Pete Marwick, whatever. These type of people, I've met them before. You just have it. You have what's it. And also, yeah, I should go get my master's in taxation. And then maybe they pay that for you. All right? But you have done enough. You've done fucking enough. And if you get your CPA, that's enough in my world. And if you don't make it with the CPA, like that's the other thing I'm hedging against, recommending you hedge against, is let's say you get your CPA, you go in and you find out within a month that this is not what you were expecting. Accounting firms are bullshit. You can't tolerate the crap or the hours during busy season. I know through a couple CPAs that the Big Four are getting more politically correct. And they're not hiring people based off of merit, but rather whether or not you have a vagina and you don't have white skin. And especially if you're investing that much time, damn, you want to make sure you are getting the best of the best are getting promoted and hired, not affirmative action or cronyism or nepotism, which is rampant in the financial world and increasingly so in the accounting world. So I would not invest any more if you can't make it in accounting, either by your own personality or it's just not for you with a CPA. Then you would simply have wasted a lot more money and time with your masters. What I got a question though, I asked you, where did 80 grand come from? I thought you were a spoiled rich kid. No, you made it selling shit on eBay. You made 80 grand, saved 80 grand. You made more than 80 grand selling stuff on eBay. Kid, do you know the reason you go to college? It's not to get educated. That's what they tell dipshit millennials who graduate from the suburbs and are dumber than fuck, so they feel good about themselves. Because after college, their lives are over. That's the pinnacle. They were too ugly and nerdy to make anything of themselves in high school. Then college becomes like the fucking the toilet flush of the world's achievement, and that's their time. Then the real world comes as the smart people's time. So they're told that like college, it's for its own self. No, in the real world, college is to go and make money. You are making money selling fun shit, by the way, on eBay and gambling on the side. Don't know about you, kid. That's funner than all fucked in all of your accounting class. I don't care if there was the biggest titted, hottest redheaded, succulent lipped, long-legged, long red hair, nymphomaniac redhead in your accounting class that gave you daily blowjobs. You are not going to find more fun of a job than selling shit on eBay making 80 grand. So you have this obvious entrepreneurial eye or talent or skill or whatever you want to call it. And I would really recommend you think about that. And accounting won't hurt. It's always good to have a good daytime job. But don't give up what you're doing. I mean, good Lord, I wish I had 80 grand in the bank. I don't, but I mean, selling shit on eBay. Fuck. So that is just as valuable a skill, I'd say, as your accounting degree or getting your CPA or accounting skill. And then on top of it, you want to be a minimalist and an entrepreneur. That's definitely a skill to have. So I think, you could still have it. You could be the guy who's destined to be partner in the firm. But you also probably have some kind of knack for entrepreneurship and an eye for a dollar, how to make a quick buck. And I would keep doing that. I would keep doing that so you never have to work a shitty ass job just to make ends meet. Just sell some fucking controllers on the internet. I mean, that is what flabbergasted me. So yeah, take a measured approach. Don't commit to masters and why not a doctorate if you got your masters? That's what they really like. I can become a professor. No, I would stop at the CPA, see if you can make it that way, see if there's demand for you to go and get a master's in tax. You'll probably, especially if you're a minimalist, you'll probably make damn good enough money to support yourself and your ailing mother if you want to, that you don't need a master's in tax. And if you would consider the income that you got on your side hustle, holy shit, kid, you'll probably be breaking six figures before you're 25. So, yeah, I would not go for the master's unless it's the last thing. Honestly, I'd go try and sell more shit on eBay if I were you, because that sounds easier and more fun. But you can always do that master's in the tax thing later. Anyway, hope that helped out. Best of luck to you. Toodles.